Welcome back. You're listening to Get Real with Bob and Stacy. You're joining us for our Leaders and Legends segment. We have a very special guest with us on the phone today. Multi-published author and editor, Cynthia MacGregor. Welcome to the show, Cynthia.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I want to give everybody a little background on Cynthia. We've had some authors on the show before, but I don't think we've ever had one that has written over 100 published books. Cynthia has, in fact, written over 100 published books, writing for both adults and kids. That total does not even include the many books she has ghostwritten for clients. She also does other writing and editing for clients. She formerly hosted and produced 2 TV shows that aired in South Florida market, Solo Parenting and Younger Every Day. Her books are available from Amazon.com by special order in many bookstores, or you can visit her website at CynthiaMacGregor.com. Cynthia loves her work. She says, "I can't wait to bound out of bed in the mornings and get started." She claims she's the happiest person in the world. There's no one in the world that she would trade lives with. So, Cynthia, let's go into some of the books that you have. One of them is called Don't Quit While You're Ahead. What is the idea behind this book?
Well, there's an old adage, quit while you're ahead, and I say no. I say there's more in store for you. There are 2 songs that kind of inspired the book. One is actually by the same title as my book. It's called Don't Quit While You're Ahead. It's from the musical The Mystery of Edwin Drood. And the last line is sing out, don't quit while you're ahead, sing out, there's more in store for me. And I think that's a great attitude. The other song that inspired the book is called The Olive Tree, and it's from a Broadway show later made into a movie in the 1950s called Kismet, in which Robert Wright and George Forrest wrote a song about a fool who sat beneath an olive tree and had a wondrous thought. Why be content with an olive when you could have the tree? And then, being a fool, he went to sleep and forgot about the whole thing. And the person singing the song was behind the tree and heard it, and says, "That which has lulled you to sleep, fool, has awakened me." It goes on. I'll spare you singing it because you don't want to hear my singing voice. Your listeners will tune out in droves. But anyhow, the thoughts expressed by these 2 songs, too many people stop too soon. They reach a good point in their lives. They make manager at their place of work, or they start a business and make it successful, or they write a book and say, "Hey, I'm an author, I've had a book published." But why stop there? Why stop at manager? Why not climb higher up the ladder, or buy the company, or start your own company in the same field and outpace your former employer? If you have your own business and it's successful, why not make it grow even larger, or start another business? If you've had a book published, why not write another one? I've had, as you said, over 100 books published. People call me the Energizer Bunny. I just keep going and going and going. And why stop at whatever point you're at? Keep going. There's more in store.
That's awesome. One of my favorite books is 3 Feet from Gold, and at the beginning of the book, they share the story of the gold miner who's like digging and digging and digging for gold. Finally, he gives up and sells off his mine and everything, dirt cheap because there's no gold there. And the next guy comes in and buys it and digs 3 feet more and hits all the gold. So many times in life, I think we're 3 feet from gold and we end up giving up just a little bit too soon. So who is the audience for the book Don't Quit While You're Ahead?
One more thing about what we were just talking about to your next question. Is that the idea behind the book is not only for monetary success, but also for satisfaction and enjoyment and personal goals. It's true of not just business, relationships, and even hobbies. Now, you were asking me who the audience is for the book. Anyone who recognizes that if some is good, more is usually better. But most especially people who are anywhere between recently started out and not yet retired, who have achieved some degree of success already and might be tempted to just enjoy the level of success they've reached without striving higher.
And I know one of the chapters in your book is provocatively titled, "The Opposite of Success is Not Necessarily Failure." Can you explain that?
Sure. Quitting before you've reached your full potential. That's you can be moderately successful, but not have gone as far as you could if you tried. Why give up now?
Right.
The opposite of success can be failure, sure, but it can also be failing to succeed to the degree you could if you applied yourself and kept climbing and trying and striving.
That's great. That's really interesting. So what are some of the reasons that you believe people don't live up to their true potential?
Well, first of all, fear of failure if they try. And secondly, believe it or not, fear of success. Because people are afraid of success for a variety of reasons, including but not limited to losing friends if they succeed and having their lifestyle changed. Change is scary to many people, and people are just afraid of what will happen if they succeed. Another reason for people not living up to their potential is plain old garden variety laziness. Then there's lack of belief in their self-worth, and also there are some people who are stymied by religious beliefs that they think make riches to be scorned and striving to be looked down on. I happen to subscribe to the New Thought branch of religion, and we believe in success. We believe in trying. We believe in going as high as you can. We don't believe that richness and trying for success are sins or anything like that. To the contrary, we think that they're good things, but there are people whose religious beliefs are strongly at variance from that. Another reason people don't live up to their potential is complacency. Okay, I'm here, it's good, and they just don't try. And like I said, fear of change, that's a big one.
And
those are the ones.
And maybe limiting beliefs that they think they are living up to their full potential. So it's interesting. How do you get past, like, if you think you've made it to your full potential, how do you recreate the mindset that maybe I could go further?
Maybe read the book.
Yeah, exactly. Start with the book. By the way, I know we're concentrating on one book and you have hundreds. Is this your favorite book, or do you have a different one that's your favorite?
I have to say my favorite book is Heartfelt the Special Reindeer, which is a it just came out last fall. Okay. And because I write both for adults and for kids, and while I write primarily nonfiction for adults, I write both fiction and nonfiction for kids. Heartfelt the Special Reindeer is the story of a reindeer who's special in two different ways. First of all, she has a special power, an ability to read other people's hearts with her heart and know what their most heartfelt wish is. But she also is a special needs reindeer. She has two very short back legs, and her back slopes pronouncedly as a result. But she's a strong flyer, and her most heartfelt wish is to be part of Santa's regular team. He has 9 regular reindeer, the basic 8 plus Rudolph. And she would like to be a permanent member of the team. Right now, she's just a backup reindeer, kind of like a spare tire. If Santa if one of Santa's reindeer gets sick or something and can't make the trip, he has a stable of backup reindeer that he can call on, and Heartfelt is one of the backups. But her most heartfelt wish is to be a regular member of Santa's team. And the book details what happens one Christmas when he needs to call on the help of a backup reindeer, and Heartfelt gets the tag and saves Christmas for Santa. I won't give away the whole story, but she saves Christmas for Santa by dint of her special power, and Santa asks her to be a regular member of the team from now on, and that's how Heartfelt's own most heartfelt wish comes true. That's my favorite book of them all. It really is.
Sounds
like
awesome. Mm-hmm. So you must write a lot. Like, do you spend your entire days writing, or what else do you do besides writing?
Well, besides writing books, I write for clients, business materials, and whatever I'm hired to do, basically. And then I edit. I do a lot of editing, everything from editing books for other writers to editing, you name it, I edit it. And then I do ghost writing. I ghost write books for people. For one thing, if somebody wants to show that they're an expert in their field, which, of course, attention and customers or clients, they may know an awful lot about their field but not know much about writing, and so they call a ghostwriter to write a book for them so that they can get their name out there. If you walk into, let's say, a lawyer's office, and on the waiting room table is a book, How to Something or Other, by the lawyer's name, you're going to think, oh, he really is an expert in his field, and you're more inclined to hire him to do your work. And nobody has to know that I really wrote the book with information from the lawyer. I mean, that's not fudged. That's for real, that he gave me all the information in the book, but I did the actual writing, or if not a lawyer, a hairdresser or an interior decorator, whatever, So I do ghostwriting. And then besides that kind of ghostwriting, sometimes people come to me with ideas for books, nonfiction or stories, fiction, whatever, and they know what they want to write, but they can't write. They have the idea, but not the facility to write the book, and so they approach me and ask me to ghostwrite the book from their outline or from their notes or from their information, and I do that. So, and I don't get any credit as a ghostwriter. You're hidden behind, you're the man behind the curtain. Don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain from The Wizard of Oz. And I'm the man behind the curtain.
Do you mind sharing how much that would, like, roughly, for any of our people listening? We have a lot of, like, entrepreneurs, business people, real estate professionals. Do you mind giving, like, a range of what something like that would cost if somebody's listening and says, wow, I'd love to do have a book ghostwritten?
Well, if it's a full-length book, and if it's if I get the information easily, and I don't have to do research or spend hours and hours and hours on the phone with the person, if they, they send me good notes or a good outline, somewhere in the range of $1,000 and up.
Okay.
And if it's a short book, the price goes down. If it's a long book, or there's research involved, or I have to spend an inordinate amount of time getting the information out of the client, the price goes up.
Wow. That's great. And is that your background, or did you start in teaching? What is your background in writing?
my background really is in writing and editing.
That's
I've been
great.
writing, spelled CAT, and I just have always been a writer. And in 1980, a publisher that I was writing for recognized my editorial abilities and said, how would you like to edit a magazine for me?
Mm-hmm.
And I did. That led another publisher to say, well, if she's good enough for Jackie, she's good enough for me, and he hired me away from her. I started editing for him, and I've been editing ever since.
Right.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome. So definitely.
I guess I'm giving my age away by saying that happened in 1980.
So you're at least.
I'm past retirement age. I'll never retire. I love my work. I love what I do. I live for it, and I have no intention of ever retiring.
Wow, that's awesome. Our time is almost up. Where is the best place for people to reach you?
Well, they can reach me by phone at 561-963-5199, or they can reach me by email at CynthiaMacGregor.com. That's MacGregor, not Nick Gregor. It's M-A-C. Or they can reach me on Skype at Cyn, C-Y-N, .MacGregor, MacGregor.
Great. Thanks for joining us on the show. We really enjoyed talking to you, Cynthia.
Thanks for having me.
That's going to do it for this edition of Get Real with Bob and Stacy. Tune in again next weekend for more.